Hi guys, it's me, just Lucian again, and for this video that I will be dedicating to the month of Halloween, October in 2025, I shall be talking about the Batman vs. Dracula, a wonderful little movie. We get two bats for the price of one. Now, I should tell you that the word "the" in the title differentiates it from the other Batman show, the Batman cartoon show, which is Batman the Animated Series. Now, let me just say something about that show first, okay? It is beyond legendary, okay? Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill are the best animated Batman and Joker I can ever imagine happening. Those two are epically awesome. Okay, Kevin Conroy, I can't say enough about him as the animated Batman. He is awesome. The perfect role for that. The perfect voice for that role. Mark Hamill, God, how on earth could you get a more perfect Joker voice and laugh for that role? I mean, sure, Tim Curry did try for the role, but yeah, he's more demonic, if you will, than Mark Hamill Joker, but Joker just had more of a playful voice to Mark Hamill added more of a playfulness to his voice than anything else. It was just chef kiss, wonderful, great. I would say that his role as the Joker is second only to his role as at Luke Skywalker. That's how good it was. But besides that, it kicked ass. Okay, it was awesome. It was stupendous. And let me just say, God rest poor Kevin Conroy's soul. The man deserves a break, a long break after doing Batman's voice for so long. He's an icon in that regard. Now that being said, the new Batman cartoon, The Batman, was a TV show which I didn't really watch that much growing up, so I didn't really see it when I was younger, when I was a youth, but I saw on Netflix all 4 seasons, I believe, and boy, it knocked my socks off. It was really good. It was done in the same animation style as, say, like Jack Chan's Adventures. And it was pretty something. It was pretty well something. I think the standout character in there was definitely the Joker, played by Kevin Michael Richardson. The Joker was wild, of course. He was crazy. He was, he had dreadlocks, looked like dreadlocks, and he was barefoot. And he ran around Gotham like a crazy monkey on speed. And he was very, very, very manic and crazy. Nuts. Like the Joker should be. He was definitely a good role model for the Insane Clown Posse. He was very well received in my book, and he got to play the Batman in Bruce Wayne with Rhino Romano And he did a pretty good job of it for Batman. That being said, this show had a very interesting take on mysteries, and the other characters as well were like a radical uh, uh, type design flavor to it. So, but like all animated Batman, cartoons, it had to have their own movie dedicated to just them. In this case, with versus the supernatural baddie Dracula. In this case, he played by Peter Stormare. And let me just say that this guy can do no wrong. At first he did like car commercials or whatnot, but then he did that weird guy that we're calling a lot in Armageddon, and then he did a few other things where he played the devil himself in Constantine, and I would assume that he's playing the devil again in Constantine 2, whenever that movie comes out. But this guy is the perfect embodiment of evil and chaos. Okay? Like you said, he can do no wrong in my book. He is just completely awesome in everything he does. In fact, I would dare venture and say that he's my favorite Russian actor, or actress for that matter. He's just so good. He oozes coolness. And if he didn't play the devil himself, the pure evil incarnate, Dracula is pretty up there as far as evil goes. So, I'm pretty sure this guy's evil character roster checked off that he played the devil, not Dracula, and I'm sure he can play the devil again in another movie real soon. But this guy is completely awesome. I would like to meet him one day. Now, they also have Tara Strong as Vicky Vale, which unfortunately I was unable to meet her at Comic-Con because they were just don't know what to do and so little time to do it in. But I would like to see her one day because she was just such an integral part of my anime childhood. Now, there's also Tom Kenny as the Penguin, whose voice I cannot imitate right now. And then you have Alistair Duncan as Alfred Pennyworth, the butler of the Wing Manor. Let me just say that everyone gives it all. Everyone does a spectacular job in whatever they do. And here we go with the rest of the show. Okay, now we have the penguin over there coming like a minor crime of robbing jewels or something like that. Something minor around the bill. And he's running throughout the cemetery in Gotham City, and guess who he runs across? He runs into a mausoleum of sorts, and then he comes across a pile of dead bones, or a pile of bones actually, and then he ends up being shot and ends up bleeding, so he ends up dipping his blood onto old not decrepit, dehydrated heart. And when blood reaches that heart, there's an unticated pumping again. And then a certain undead nightmare ends up coming out from there. And it's very nice to see it resurrect Castlevania 2, Castlevania series, and when Blood is enough to resurrect the king of the vampires himself, Dracula. And it actually reminded me a little bit of that scene from Halloween when they showed the invisibility become visible again. That was like pretty good. But I don't know, but the penguin actually does like a weird thing where he says that because he's a bird, and the penguin's a bird, and since Dracula is associated with bats, that they should get along good, they should follow each other, the penguin swears allegiance to Dracula. But that doesn't quite make sense because the bats are not related to birds in the same way as you would think, because of course they fly, but they're two different things altogether. I think bats are mammals, and birds are different altogether. They're their own separate branch of the animal kingdom. So, like different from mammals. They lay eggs. They're birds. Basically reptiles. But that's a whole different ballgame altogether. So, that really doesn't make sense, but Dracula said that, he needs like an emissary to show him around the land and protect him in the daytime. Daylight, the only they can kill him. You know, that he can't control about. He can control garlic and crosses and things like that, but the other party can't do it. Sometimes he can't control him. And he does dissolve whenever he's in sunlight. It burns him. Just a real cool effect. But I like. Can you just say that? I love the design of Dracula. He looks very very calm, very collected, very polite and gentleman-like. But then when he goes into his nocturnal phase, he goes into more of a ghastly creature, almost on the same level as an alien would come across. And his eyes get all sunken in, and his features get all gnarled and stuff. It's quite cool to look at. So very good job on the animation for that. I tip my hat to you if I have not. So they show him like cruising around and it can be a social like kind of like Batman, or Bruce Wayne, and he thinks himself like a richy guy, which in lore he was supposed to be like Vlad the Impaler, but more of a dead guy, but more of a fancy type dead person. So he had more of a richer air about him. In any case, he ends up becoming rivals in wealth to Bruce Wayne and all that. Kind of like a Oswald Cobblepot. The Joker, the Penguin. I mean, don't worry, the Joker will come into this eventually. So, anyway, during his travel, the Joker ends up trying to commit some crime or something. So, he ends up going into the crypt with that Dracula lives in for the time being. And he ends up getting bitten by the Count. Now, I know that the Joker is crazy and all that stuff, but he doesn't deserve this. He doesn't deserve to be bitten by a supernatural creature. And you feel genuinely bad that Joker is attacked by this creature. And I believe I remember him being, trying to crawl away from it, and just being dragged back to the Count for feeding. And eventually Batman does take pity on Joker, and he does try to help him out by not only starving him out of blood, but trying to find a cure for him with his blood. Because I think that at one point somebody tried to do that with somebody else, one of the Count of the victims. I think they exploded or something like that, or no, it was he tried testing Joker's blood against anti-venom, or whatever you call it, and from there it just kept on dissolving like you would expect from sunlight and stuff like that. Now, in retrospect, that just happened to be a scientist that was just happening to make a gigantic light source for energy purposes that just happened to come through for Bruce at the end. So I like the way Bruce captures the Joker and keeps him captive in a jail cell or something, and he keeps him weak, wanting more blood. And Joker was creepy and unsettling to begin with, but when he's a vampire Joker, he's even more creepy, even more insane, and for some reason black and white. And it's really nice to see them play with light for his animation. And they show him say, feed me, and give me a drop of blood. It always reminds me of Audrey 2 from Little Shop of Horrors, where they make, feed me Brucey. So he eventually gives him some packets of blood in exchange for information that we can find in his master, which is very hesitant to give him, because if he doesn't, he'll kill Joker, which is a big thing for Batman. I never kill. I don't want to kill things. I don't want to separate myself. Me and them type of mentality. That might get into one day, but whatever. So yeah, they show that. And then in serum, he does find a cure for him, but it's funny because a blood test, so any type of blood amount for me bothered me or how it looks in deck. Well, I just find that whenever someone pricks someone else for a little bit of blood, that's no big deal. But I find it hilarious when the pricker says the pricky, I need more blood, and he decides to take out a gallon worth of blood. To me, that's hilarious. Like in Futurama when they find one blood cell, and because Cubert's being a little bastard about everything, everyone would decide to jump him and then take a whole quart size worth of blood. To me, that's funny. even though they only had one cell. So anyway, they have the Batman take a lot of blood samples from the Joker in a safe way, I'm sure, and from that he developed an anti-vampirism cure. Now, I think that the vampires to successfully spread some of his disease to other people, like regular people. For some reason, he spared the Penguin, who in turn pledged allegiance to Dracula because of the whole similarity between Batman and Penguin for some reason. So, that's that. So you got Penguin over there that's under his hypnotic gaze, but still serving him unaffected, so he can still go out in daylight and whatnot and clear what crosses the things for him, even though he is creeped out by it. And it comes from a guy who hangs out with Gotham scum of the universe like Joker, Bane, Catwoman, etc. So they show him always getting more and more agitated by his lack of reward for the it's gonna be like a whole big treasure for the Penguin if he does everything he told. Besides, survival. So then the Batman finds a cure for the disease, and then he inaugurates Penguin, inaugurates himself with it, and decided to go up to Dracula himself. Now, under normal circumstances, that Dracula would probably beat Bruce Wayne in a one-on-one fight, a lot more combat. But because Bruce Wayne, he got a bunch of technology and stuff to help him out in research and stuff. So he looks up that Dracula is weak and stuff, like and stuff, intense sunlight. So he uses that for his advantage as they fight Dracula, even though Dracula can easily pound him into dust, which he did in the first time. But then on the rematch, he takes him, he drags him down to the basement level of the Batcave. Now, it's funny, it's good to know that in the first fight between the two of them, the Batman got beat badly. His ribs were broken and everything else. His pride was shattered because, to my knowledge, I don't know too many martial artists that can beat Batman. I mean, you got Rachel Gould, you got Bane, who broke his back one time. You have other people that can beat him up. But for the most part, average people like the Joker, Harley Quinn, the Scarecrow, those type of normal thugs and stuff, they normally go down pretty easily against the Batman. But because he's a supernatural fighter and with hundreds or thousands of years worth of experience in combat, that good Vlad the Impaler transformed can kill Batman easily. And would destroy him whenever he let him go. So Bruce Wayne's gonna come up in it extra oomph to beat him. So he lures Dracula to the Batcave, and he does something where he gets pummeled and stuff, well, leading that guy into his lair, so that that guy thinks that he's winning against Batman, and he's like flung about and stuff. And he said this town is big enough for only one bat. And then Batman kind of agrees with him, and then he does the intense light from before to kill him. So it's like a pretty cool way he dies. And that, up until this point, Dracula is the king of the vampires, right? So he has no fear of what a moment during the night. So he's like, we talk about, I can kill you easily. So when Batman throws the intellect behind him, Dracula's still in Batman's shadow. So he's like counting behind the shadow, because if he moves out of the shadow, the light will burn his skin off and clothes off too. So he's like, no, don't move out of the way, don't move out of the way of the light. If you do, I'll burn to death. So as Batman is giving a speech, like, I am Batman, when he uses the grappling hook to get out of the way, and then you see Dracula kind of wear a supernatural alien face as he goes, nah, and you see him doing that big, like a Super Saiyan roar, and then you see him burn into flames. All of his flesh melts off, all of his skin burns off, all of his organs and whatnot go bye too. It's really awesome and real graphic for little kids, but it's a pretty good shot. So as he dies, and there's only left a pile of bones in its dead, you see all the people that were affected by this monster coming to. You see all these people that were hypnotized come to. See Batman look antidote become effective, and see everyone turn back to normal again. And then it's all happy and gayness and the streets of Gotham once again. Even Joker's back to its crazy self. He goes right back to Arkham Asylum. And when the inmates are played by Jeff Bennett too, whoever that is. So that was a good thing. But my question is, I always thought that just sound like what they about burn Dracula because it's a kind of holy thing to go up to kill some impure pure devil and all that stuff. So how is it that a really intense high beams were able to kill Dracula like that, and it was really cool to see him cower behind Batman's shadow, like, I'm superior, bitch. I'm gonna get you whether you like it or not, even though you're supernatural and you can beat me in a fist fight, fist cuffs and stuff. I can still kill you and I can still make you my bitch. to die. So much for Batman never kills. Although technically the light killed him, the intense high beams killed this creature of the night. I would love for him to say, I am the night. I am Batman. Like what Jeff Combs used to say. That would have been sweet. But I guess the superior Batman nonetheless. Because that's what we like to see. We like to see Batman uses knowledge and extreme technology to beat bad guys with overwhelming force. And it was so good, so awesome to see all that happen. So, the Penguin tried to get rid of some treasure. He gets caught. And everything good in the cover once again. I really like this movie a lot. I feel like this movie was like a John Cap on the end of the Batman show, because it was so awesome, so good. And I thank you for watching my video on the Batman vs. Dracula, the King of the Vampires. And I did this for a month of Halloween, October 2025. I'll put the link to the whole movie on YouTube in the description below. I give this movie a very high a very happy face seal of approval. But it was just so weird to see that it coincidentally happened to make a device that was meant for energy production that would just happen to be powerful enough to kill the vampires. And it just so happened that Dracula moved to the city of Gotham. And the first, of all places in America to go, he had to pick Gotham. But also the end's alright. Anyway, as such, if you like what you see here and want to see more of my videos, always like, comment, and share, and subscribe to my channel. And also, find out any future information on my videos by calling me or texting me at 631-707-3707, or follow me on Twitter or X if you prefer at PMelsompro. Also, you can get me on my email at jjsviewingchannel@gmail.com. So remember, I salute any Batman anime series with the Batman fans. I love this cartoon. I love this movie. Everything about the animated series, in my opinion, is par excellence. I like the different art style too. Very different than your traditional humanistic drawings and such. So, peace out, my brothers and sisters. I'll see you in the next video. All you girls, And guys, in Ancient Lands, see you later. Ciao, ciao. Sayonara.